Hello everyone, welcome back to a weirdly timed and also a bit of a shorter tomato sauce stream. Today we're just going to be playing with some of the new stuff. We're going to be testing some bits and bobs. I really want to try out dinos, because I did build an initial dinosaur list that was entirely just supposed to turbo out dynamics, but in testing I found that if you find the maximum, sure, it's great. If you don't, it doesn't really do anything, you just kind of fall over. So, a little bit awkward, but I would like to try and find something with it, and we'll just have to see how that goes. But who do we have in today? We have Elmaz, welcome, welcome. We have Say Fedine? Let's go with that, welcome on in. We have Sakadetsu, hello as always. We have Grand Harrier. We have Pro-Manicist. Is that everyone? Yeah, that is everyone that's chatted. So, welcome on everyone. We also do have a follow. Thank you, Joey Med, for the follow. So, yeah, that's basically what we're going to be doing. We're going to be trying out some dinos. We're going to be seeing how that goes. We're not expecting much out of the dinos. It's a weird problem to solve. My brain was hacked by the image for the Twitch points. Well, yep. Welcome on in, Genuine Wonder. And there's the 10 streak from Grand Harrier, Sakadetsu with the Dino DNA. In that case... Oh, I want to say, in that case, can I send my list? Okay, we'll talk about deck building. Okay, let us, I think, jump on in. So, we've been doing, obviously, a little bit of cooking. Again, we did try this, like, turbo build, and it didn't really work out. So this is kind of just generic dinosaurs, right? So this is, obviously... What we want to do is summon out the max. That is kind of our objective. We don't really have a good skill to do so. So we're just using Set Mighty Gaze of the Sky Emperor. The reason we're using this is because that means every turn we get access to a card that can change monsters to attack mode. That might not seem like much, but this deck can struggle to beat Set 3 Pass. So if our opponent does just set 3 monsters and we want to just be able to get in, we can't really do that outside of like running Tribute to the Doomed and then running multiple copies of our dinosaur spell card, so it's a little bit awkward. With the Mighty Gaze of the Sky Emperor, it does fix that one problem. It doesn't fix a lot of the other problems the deck has, but it does fix that one problem. On top of the fact that we are currently in this build just playing some dinos, and the reason basically is we can discard them with Mech Therazinoraptor to get draws. That's kind of it. So I'm not a big fan of this build, and the reason I'm not is because although Super King Rex is fine, and being able to bring back some, like, little guys is fine, the deck doesn't very easily beat, like, 2,500 monsters. Like, Super King Rex can crash into them. That's about the extent of you get. At least with Servant of Dawn, we can play the Mega Zowlers and boost them up to 24, which still doesn't really solve that problem, but in that same build, you can play things like Flame Cerberus and beat over them that way. So I'm not a big fan of this specific build. Now, what do we think the tier list looks like right now? I think it's still a little bit early. Obviously, we're only a few days in. I would say that machines have won every single tournament. So machines are looking to be really, really good. But, you know, put the carriage before the horse. I think people could start building better against machines, and then they could start to fall off a little bit. But we predicted machines would be really, really strong, and they do seem to be really, really strong. I think alongside them, I really think Royal Rebel is still very strong. I think people are really sleeping on that deck because they're getting a bit bored of it. I think the deck is still decent. So we are going to like have that up there as well. I think Harpies as well is another really underestimated deck. A lot of people just really crap on that deck because there are not very many good Harpy pilots out there. But Harpies doesn't really have a bad matchup, right? And I think people really underestimate that. Harpies now feels like what Thunder was, where Harpies are like this really good, consistent, strong, but not, like, popping off crazy. So I think people underestimate it because of that. I think that aggro is still obviously pretty good. I think it's not an easy tier list to, like, make, because I think a lot of the decks are so close that trying to exactly work out which should be in different tiers above each other is very difficult. I think there's about 7, 8, like, decent, competent, playable decks right now. I think that's kind of where I see it. The Gaze spell works if it's just the middle piece on the field. I found out yesterday, yeah, because it is a level 10. So this works with any maximum. Because it's always a level 10, regardless if it's a maximum mode or not, you can still use this, which is quite nice. And you can use it for filtering, because you will discard a card from your hand and then draw another card, so it can work to like fix your hand if you need it. But this was this build. And again, the issue this has is Super King Rex doesn't really do anything, and the only reason to be on it is to discard it from Ecther's Interrupter. So we started kind of fiddling around, and we came up with this. We haven't finished this yet, but this is basically, we're playing just better monsters, right? I think Trigger Drago is a better boss monster because it can, on its own, out 2500 attack monsters. We can also recycle it with Duck Build, so it has this like added synergy. So it's kind of turned this deck into a little bit of an aggro build, but instead of Dragius, we're playing Dynamix, which is a lot worse, right? Let's not pretend it's not. Dynamix is a lot worse than Dragius, but if we're trying to get this gimmick going, I think this is kind of the best way to do it. I'm not sure if we even need the Mechthera's Interruptor in here. Now, discarding spare pieces of the maximum is still nice, and being able to discard spare copies of Dynamix is going to be okay sometimes, but I don't know if we need it. The only other questionable inclusion is I really like Siesta Torero. Even in this list, I think it's pretty cool. But TSA plus Siesta is a little bit awkward. But I feel like we need TSA because we can't out a maximum monster. That is a big problem this deck is always going to have, is how do we kill a Yggdrago that our opponent slaps on the board? We can't, right? There is no conceivable way for us to beat it without just throwing in TSA. So first thing we should do is probably... Oh, we can't even use Luke. We use Luke just because we had a spare slot, but we're going to have to swap it onto maybe Nail or something. So this was like an old build we were running with triple Piercing Dragon Bunker Strike, just to try and turbo into the max. Which again, if you can get to the max, worked fine. But if you can't, like, just get the max, it doesn't feel very good. So we're going to go ahead and take that out for now. So let's go ahead and throw in our Thunder Boys. Let's find our Duck. I also still like the Siestas. If we can spell Siesta, that is. I still don't know how I feel about Hold. I don't think Hold is particularly good, personally. But you can use it as a discard outlet sometimes. It's a weird one. So let's scrap that. We will then go back to... I do just kind of like the one-of Recital. I think just having an extra trap card is quite nice. Obviously, it's still useless against maximums, but that's just how it be. I don't really know what else to put in this deck, to be honest. Again, we're kind of spitballing. We're kind of just like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. I mean, Essel could be okay. I don't think Essel is like super required. Like getting out Dynamix onto the board. We'll try it. We'll try a couple of Essels, I think. We'll see how it feels. Let's just try this build out. Again, we're not expecting much out of this. This is just our first draft. But we're just going to see what happens. It might surprise us. And we're just going to jump into some games and just start throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. Let's go. Alright, who have we got first? We have a Japanese player. The question is going to be, what is our opponent going to be on? Okay, it looks like Psychics. Not the greatest open, but we'll see what we draw. Now, how greedy do we want to get with this? I think we'll get a little bit greedy. Right, we'll get a little greedy. It is Psychics, so I'm not expecting to just like randomly die, but we'll see what happens. At Tomato Sauce, do you have a Discord? Yes, we do. There is our Discord link. Thanks to !Discord. Where we sometimes chat about Rush. Oh, that's... Okay, that could have been a lot worse. He milled 2 low-level monsters instead of any high levels. There's a Magical Miracle, so I'm assuming we're going to Tribute to. Does go for the Tribute 2, summons out the Esperard. Quite an early Esperard. Straight to battle, so probably another Tribute monster in hand. We are going to lose our Mechthera's Interruptor and our Siesta Torero, which is fine. Now, we'll just draw out the third max piece. Easy. Easy. Aw. Okay, so now we have a decision to make. Do we just attack over that? I think we do. I don't think we can afford to like just start hoarding all of this till the end of time. So we will go ahead and Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. We'll activate set Mighty Gaze of the Sky Emperor. I have to send a monster. That's the issue. So I'd have to use... I don't know if we want to do that. Alright, this is super, super greedy. But we're going to just do this. I should not have used set the... Right, again, this is like teething pains, right? We haven't really used this skill much in testing, so we're just going to see what happens. Hey, Max. Welcome on in. Oh, look at this. We have one of those gross bots. Let's get rid of him, shall we? Five more days till the Playmaker stuff comes out. I'm quite excited. I mean, I wish I could be as excited for the Playmaker stuff, but unfortunately I'm just not. Like, not that I think it's going to be bad or I'm not going to enjoy it or anything. It's just like, I haven't got the same attachment to the Vrain stuff as I do the other series. Okay, well, we can, if we want, do a lot of things here, but how deep in the tank do we actually want to go? Alright, I think we will start by just firing off Reincarnation. I think this is a good start. We'll discard this. And then I'm going to take back Siesta. We'll then summon out the Siesta. And we are going to use its effect. Because there is a chance that we get messed up by a back row. So we're going to flip this down. We'll then set. And then, I mean, do I even need to summon this? I don't really need to. Like, we're not in a bad spot here to just set a load of cards of pass. Leaving this in hand for next turn could also be pretty good for us. So let's see what he does. If we attack with this, is he going to protect this? He'd have to have, like, exactly negate attack. We'll see if we can get him for 900. And we'll just pass. We're in no rush. We're in no rush. I understand, so you mostly prefer, like, Arc V stuff. Yeah, I like pretty much every season. It's just Vrains is just what I have, like, the least experience with, I suppose, is the way to think about it. I still haven't watched Vrains, so I have just experience with the actual cards themselves. So, like, I like a lot of the Boral stuff, but because I played with the Boral stuff. First time catching a stream live and we're cooking with dinos. Yes, we're giving it a go. We're going to see what actually ends up happening with it. Not sure if this is the best way to play the dinos, but we're going to see what happens. Yeah, that's kind of fine. We'll take some damage. 27's fine. Alright. Alright, let's start with Thera's Interrupter. We'll activate his effect. We'll send one of our Dino Boys to the grave to draw a card. Then we'll go ahead and tribute 2 monsters. And summon out the one, the only Trigger Drago. We'll then activate Trigger Drago's effect. Milling another Trigger Drago. That's not the best thing that could have happened, but it's also not completely awful. I could flip the monster down. It's only 600 damage we'll be getting in anyway, so I don't really care about that. And putting more cards back in our deck is probably more beneficial to us. So we will use Siesta here. There's no point in having that stuck in the grave. So we're going to go for these 3. We'll flip this down. We'll go ahead and set this, and then we will just go to battle, I think. We don't have to worry about getting damage in right now. That's not really what we're after. We just need to control the board, slow the game down, wait until we draw it into our maximum. So we'll just pass on this. Oh yeah, right, rockets are getting more support, finally, in the next box. So he's used get ready to amp up. So is he going to try and pop off this turn? We'll have to see what he does. So far, I've only faced it once on ladder, but they must have bricked because they scooped turn 3. I mean, that's not too surprising at all, to be honest. That's not Dino. I see only Thunders. There's a Dino right there. What are you talking about? What's that look like to you? That's a T-Rex right there. Okay, so he summoned an Esperard. What's the next part of the plan? You still have a lot of life points. This is what I mean. This is why we're not in a rush to close out the game. Like, getting more and more damage in just helps him. Oh no. This could be a I've just closed the app in frustration. Let's see what happens. Yep, there it is. The scoop of shame. Unfortunately, that's not even really good enough for a replay. So, as much as I would like to get a game against Psychic as a replay, I don't think that's worth saving. That was kind of a nothing burger, as the kids would say. Now we just go again. Definitely in response to Roman pick not working. I mean, either it's very comedic timing, or that is exactly what happened. Right, let's see what our next opponent's going to be on. We kind of want to play against real decks. We will get stomped, probably by a lot of them, but that will help us work out what needs to change in the deck. Okay, Nail, which means we're expecting Psyburst, but who even knows? Another kind of awkward hand. Do we just drop the Therizina to turn 1 for the discard? Like, holding that this early is not going to really do much for us. I think we will. This is a little bit of a sus play, because we'll be ending with a 1000 attack monster on board, but getting that out of our hand is going to help us in the long run, I think. The only way it doesn't really help us or pay off is if we literally draw like the other 2 max pieces in a sec with no reincarnation and without a 3rd copy of Dynamix. Let's see what he does. Oh, is that a Drago the Sky Emperor L? Oh, heck. Now, the bad side about this is his deck is a lot more competent about getting its maximum out, as well as his maximum is a lot better than ours. And to just really put this kind of icing on the cake, it's really good at countering ours. We just take this. We don't stop that. Go for it, buddy. You can have Siesta. Siesta would have been really nice to keep here, but I'm not going to, like, waste a trap card just to save it. Okay, so that's fine. We have the Siesta. We have 3 monsters in graveyard as well, so we can clear if we want to. Is there a reason not to? Alright, let's start with this. We'll go for the Summon of Essel, activate the effect, mill some more maximum pieces, which is not too bad, all things considered. We'll then go ahead and Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon out the Trigger Drago. We'll activate Trigger Drago effect. Mill another Torero. That's pretty good. We'll then normal summon. Followed by... So we can just get a load of piercing here. But it's not worth it, right? Because if we want to clear the whole board, I don't have another way to beat this 14. Which is sad. But it has to happen. So we're going to put back you... Having all 3 pieces in the graveyard is actually quite nice. We already have that piece as well. Probably you then. Because if we draw into a monster reincarnation, we kind of have everything set up already. So we have to flip this down. We're going to summon this out. We go to battle. This has to clear here. Like, getting a load of damage would be nice, but I'd much rather clear the whole board. And we still do get some decent damage in. And we end up doing, what, 100 less damage, but also get the monster gone. So, is what it is. Now, if he draws, like, the maximum plus back row hate, then I don't really know what we do, but we'll see what happens. Is that an Atron? Just don't hard draw the max. That's all we need. Just don't hard draw the max. Or if you have hard drawn the max, at least let me see my Talismanic Seal Array. Also, back row hate would be nice for you not to have. Okay. Maximum Ragnarok. So he's only got one boss monster in hand, is what this is telling me. As we patiently wait to see what our opponent puts to the top of their deck. Okay, so we did put it on the top. Now we have to decide if we're going to fire off our back row when he does make a big summon here. I think based on our hand, we probably do, because we will be able to out whatever he summons with exactly what we have on board. If he can get rid of that last card in his hand, and ideally it isn't set on the field, that would also be really nice for us. Spark Spellcasters can really work on first turn. Alright, we are going to use our back row here. It'd be nice if he had that card gone from his hand, but it is what it is. Wait a minute, is that a Dynamix? Is it even worth summoning? We pop 2 and then we attack for 34. Yeah, that's just lethal. Behold! Maximum Shokan! Come forth, Dynamic Dino Dynamix! We'll go ahead and activate its effect by discarding a monster from our hand. I can destroy 2 monsters on your side of the field. I'm not even going to bother using the skill. We'll go to battle. Dynamix Direct Attack. Now, there we go. There you go. The deck's perfect. It beats Cyburst. That means it works fine, right? And that, I think, is actually worth saving as a replay. We'll take that. Poor guy. He really was trying. I mean, yeah. I mean, the problem is Cyburst has a lot of problems. Like, it's a weird deck that has very low defense just across the board. It doesn't really have any kind of defensive game plan outside of just hope you draw the max. And it's a deck that still just cannot beat set 3 pass unless you get the max. So it's a maximum turbo deck that has actually some quite good cards that aren't the maximum. The problem is they don't have the support they need to really thrive. So it just becomes turbo the maximum, the deck. And you don't believe in your Dynamix Dino. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We've just hard drawn it turn 1. Watch our opponent just out it. Easy peasy. He's not even going to blink. He's just going to completely wreck it. That's a very funny opening board. Well, we have to do it. Dynamax! Let's go! Maximum summon! Dynamic Dino Dynamix! Activate our skill! We will then activate it. I'll discard and change this to defense mode because I want to draw. That didn't change anything. I will then activate the effect to pop the monster. To battle. 3400 direct. Now he is psychic. So he could just kill us here. We'll have to wait and see what he does. Victory! Right, we have to save that replay just because it's funny. Alright. First, you just go straight in, talk about the counter. What could they realistically get soon that could help them? So if he could get his life points low enough, he could use Esperard to clear it. That is like the out that I immediately saw. If he's able to summon out an 8, which I'm trying to think if that even is an 8 psychic, he could lower its attack with Talismanic Sealer Ray if he can get enough stuff in the graveyard. He was only 1 card away from that. Alright. Let's go again. Oh man, 100% win rate with this broken deck. Colombian player. Let's see what he's got for us. Nail again. There's only Nail and Roman today on the ladder. Let's see what our probably Cyberse opponent has for us. I think we just do the old set 4 pass here. It's so greedy to hold a maximum piece in our hand, especially when we have a high level. Not Ghost Cyclone, you jerk. Don't have another one. I hate it when people double Ghost Cyclone me on turn 1. I'm just like, please stop. Okay, so it is just gonna be boring Cyberse. Just toggle off, there's no point in wasting time with that. I'll take the 15. Alright, let's see what we draw. I don't think we're winning this one, you know? I have a sneaking suspicion that we're not going to win this game. Pass the turn. I wonder if Dinos didn't get a skill because Maximum kind of ignores most decks boss monsters. It kind of does, but at the same time it also kind of doesn't. Yeah, we just take this one. That puts us down to 3,000. Oh wait, no, this was silly, because if I activate... Oh, yeah. I could have taken less damage. In my mind, it was the other way around. I mean, we'll activate this, but we're going to die anyway. Yeah, we could have saved ourselves a little... That was another boss! Our next card was Trigger Drago! Hey, Siesta Terrero. Siesta will save us, right? There's no way Siesta wouldn't save us. Go, Siesta. Activate his effect. We'll put all 3 back in the deck. We'll flip this down. Swing. Yeah, unfortunately there is nothing we can do here. Dinos look so bad. To be fair, we have won 3 games and then hard bricked. Like, you know, those 3 wins were still 3 wins. Like, we can't, you know, if any deck draws 5 boss monsters, they can't play the game. That's just how that works. Again, we're not expecting this deck to actually be good, but... Oh, so cool. Right, I completely misread that. They are cool in that they can do things sometimes. But, unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be overly competitive. I think... Hey, it's Whistlebird. I think the issue is that we can get out our boss, which is crazy when we eventually do. But if it does get outed, like, what do we do? And there are so many decks that can just out it. There are, though, a handful of decks that cannot out it, just straight up. So that's kind of our win cons. I just hope we play against someone who can't out it. Straight to end phase. Come on, boss monsters. What are we doing here? There's no point in using Mechtherizoraptor here, so we are just going to Tribute 2. Summon out the Trigger Drago. We will use the effect, because again, more cards in the graveyard is generally quite good for us. We'll just have a little cheeky swing. Yeah. Then we have to pass. We can't do anything else, unfortunately. Maybe we should... It's a difficult problem to solve. I think maybe we take out the Siesta Toreros, because we do have the TSAs anyway, and then replace them with, like, an Aqua package, if we can find the room. That might be the route we take, just because this is now 2 games that we've had these kind of brookie hands. Now, again, to be fair, that last hand we couldn't do anything about. This one we probably could. Tributes 2, summons out Canry D. Oh no, the music started. But we always win when this music plays, but we're in a really horrible position now. There's no point in using our slime here. It doesn't do anything. Surely you don't pay the 1,000, right? Maybe replace the Siesta with Currybot? Yeah. I prefer the Aqua package personally, just because it's easier to use and doesn't cost life points. Oh, now we might. What are we taking? We're taking so much damage. Or we just take 2,000. Nah, we just take it. We just take it. We're not dead. Come on, I can take it. It's a little bit greedy, because if he does draw back row destruction, then we're in a really bad spot, but... Huh. I mean, we can do a little flippy floppy, and then attack, I guess, is probably going to be the play. I think we just hold that. I think we'll do this. We'll summon out Torero. Activate Torero's effect. We'll go ahead and put probably these 3 back in. Then we're just going to flip this down. We'll set this. We'll go ahead and tribute 2. Activate trigger. Set. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. That was a misclick. Well, get back in the deck, everyone. That's fine. We didn't even need that talismanic seal array. Completely unnecessary. We totally didn't misclick. We totally did not throw away a load of really good cards for no reason. We didn't do that. That was someone else. Again, unless he has very specific back row, we should live this turn either way. Normal summon, monster with 100 attack, level 1, huh? Exactly. So he's doing the same thing we did, except his actually has meaning behind it. Oh yeah, I have a question. Have 2 7s Road Magician 0 gem decks, so from Dream Ticket, is it worth to pick Dragius? Dragius is a card that should always be relevant. So Dragius is generally quite a safe bet, but then so is 7's Road Magician. I would say that Dragius will be more relevant. So if you look at it from that perspective, then, you know. Alright, we will activate Trigger Drago. That's a really good mill, actually. I could get this out, but I don't really see a point. I think we set... We'll normal summon Essel. Activate Essel. Then we're going to go ahead and tribute 1, tribute 2. Activate its effect. Set. Go to battle. Swing into this. What other back row do you possibly still have? It could be the... It could be Slime. Or... It could be the back row that does actually insulate him. So I think we are going to attack this. I'm not feeling brave enough to attack Can Ready. We'll pass on this. So we still have some protection. He's on 31, so he has to pay, like, what, 2,200 to get to, like, that 1,000. I got the Falcon and card since had everything at 3. I mean, if you got everything else at 3, right, you just take whatever you don't have. So Dragius it is. I will put him with my Blue Eyes. Thank you, Mr. Tomato. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work with if you have 3 copies of the... God, what's it called? Blue Eyes Bright. Because obviously they're all limit 3, but it's still pretty good. Okay, okay. Let's see what else he does. $3,200, so that's a 700 attack. So we take this one. Ow. And then we recycle this one. Now we draw. Oh. Okay, we have this trap, so we are going to play this a little bit fast and loose. We're going to go Mech Therizina because if we do draw out the final max piece, this would be so good. That's not the final max piece. Okay, leaving this in attack mode now is a little bit scary, but it is what it is. So now, we'll go ahead and activate Trigger Drago. We have plenty of cards we could just shuffle back in. 7 off of that. The issue is that I'm still scared of his back row being something meaningful. Alright, let's go ahead and activate Talisman Auxiliary. We'll put back you. Although leaving you in graveyard isn't too bad either, because it means that if I draw Reincarnation, it's back online. Let's go for these. Then we're going to weaken this down. Then I'm going to summon out this. Activate the effect. Rozaf subscribing with Prime. Absolute mad lad. I guess I'll still leave that in grave. Let's put these back in. Thank you so much, Rozaf, for the sub. Really do appreciate it. Now, we will simply go to Le Battle Phase. Let's attack with this. Let's see what he does. So he has a response. Which means this should connect, which makes me think he has Slime down. Swing over this. And then we will just pass the turn. Grown Man Growl. Or Grow Man Grow. Ah, right. I just completely, for some reason, my brain went... Oh, I suppose it was because of the exclamation mark. Hey Tom, should I buy the selection box? It depends if you want to play the cards out of it, right? Siesta Torero is generally quite good. You can pretty much do 2 almost complete runs entirely with gems. So if you're playing Rush anyway, and you're on like a Rush only account, I say there's no reason not to. Just go for it. Okay, well, as long as he doesn't pop our back row, we are kinda big chillin' right now. Escape! Oh, that was the only thing. If he just didn't have the Jamp check, we won that game. But unfortunately, he drew the one of. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Psychics aren't allowed more than one of that card. Because Psychics should never really win games. They're the joke archetype. Everyone needs to understand this. Current win streak 6. Okay, we are playing a thingy skill. So... Man, what is with these gross bots today? Get out of here, nerd. Okay, we're playing against Thunder. Thunder on a 6 win streak. Thunder Spice, maybe? People underestimating the power of Thunder these days? What if we Thunder his Thunder? Like, how does he even recover from that? I don't think he does. I think he just scoops. The downside to going full aggressive is if his back row stops our attack, it puts us in a bit of an awkward position, but I think we will just go for it. It's way more fun to just go for it. Let's go Trigger Drago, activate effect. We'll summon Dynamics. Go to battle, swing. Now just don't have a live back row. There we go. See, we just will it into existence, it's completely fine. We got some cheeky damage in. We're feeling good. The issue is, he actually has a decent skill. So he can just change our Trigger Drago to defense and weaken it. He can do anything he wants, and there's nothing we can do about it. And apparently he just rips the back row hate on top, which now means we're in a horrid position, which is really not ideal. So he can now also give something piercing, as well as change a 0 defense monster to defense. Now he's chosen not to do this. So is he bricked up? Is that what's going on? Okay, he's not bricked up. He's just got back row. Piercing damage? How is the Dino Train? Dinos are a meme. I mean, we're not expecting this deck to do anything. Like, this is a meme. But we're going to try and see how far we can take the meme. Why have we changed this to defense mode? Why are we using Pierce? What? Bro, you okay? Bro, you feeling good? That is abysmal draws. Okay. I mean, just to play the game, we have to do this. So we'll get rid of this, and then we have to just take back a body. Probably going to take this back. It doesn't make any difference. We're not going to shuffle anything back in anyway. So we'll set. Tribute 2. Activate Trigger Drago. Set. Go to battle. Clear over this. Now the issue is, that's probably another Thunderblast, so we're just going to pop our back row, and we're just going to be sad. I mean, yeah, similar to Psychic. Yeah. Yeah, there is. I mean, we even called it. We called that was a Thunderblast. Because we're not allowed nice things. I mean, if he just doesn't have a boss monster, we're fine, right? Looks like he might not have a boss monster. Esso doing some milling. Leaves it in attack mode. Interesting, interesting. Oh. The issue we're going to have here is... I think we are going to just do this, either way. Activating this is pointless, we're just going to set this. Then, the question is, are we going to leave this? I think we will summon this in attack mode. Now, is there any reason for us to shuffle some stuff back in? Right now, Monster Incarnation's gone. So we are going to use Siesta Terrera's effect, because I want this back in my deck. I would quite like that back in my deck. I guess I want a lot of this stuff back in my deck. Yeah, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Down you go. I don't care about getting damage in right now. We'll go to battle. We'll swing him with this. Then we'll swing him with this. And then we'll just pass. So now if he summons a boss, he can change this to defense. He can't get piercing without using a pierce spell card, which you know he's on anyway. Again, we're not too worried about getting damage in right now. We just want to prioritize getting the maximum out. If we get the max out, it should be quite difficult for him to actually deal with it. So that is our entire game plan, is just get to the maximum. Nothing else matters. Okay. Draw for turn. Unfortunately, that is not the max. So we will just summon Mechthera's Interrupter, activate the effect. We'll send one of our spares to the grave to draw. Then we'll go ahead and summon out Duckbill. I'll go ahead and activate Duckbill's effect. We'll go ahead and put this away. Grab this back. Then we're going to Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate the effect. Ah, that's sad. Activate the effect. Then I think we probably do still set this, right? How many back row have we seen from him? We haven't seen his legend yet, so I don't want to go like all in. I'll set this. We'll go to battle, we'll swing over this. I think holding this in hand is super greedy. Especially when you can do something like that. Okay, now that that's gone, I'm a bit happier to make a bit more of an aggressive play next time. What are we playing? Why are we playing Thunder in Dino deck? So there's no reason to actually play dinosaurs in this deck, is the logic. He still hasn't seen any bosses. Like, why? The only reason to play dinosaurs in this deck is literally just to discard Mechthera's Interrupter. There is no other reason that dinosaurs have any additional synergy with Dynamix. Again, we don't have to get super aggressive. It's just, do we want to put the max pieces back in the deck? We've got, what, 1, 2, 3. We have only one copy of R left in the deck. That's the only kind of mildly annoying thing right now. Saying that, we do have a very small deck count. So we are going to do this. Thank you for that, Windows. Then we will simply... We'll put a siesta back in. We'll go ahead and set this. We can get a little bit of extra damage in, but I don't think it's worth milling. So I don't really want to be milling right now. So we'll just swing with this. Then we'll swing with this. Then we'll pass. I really want to get the max out. That's what we want. We just want the maximum. Good boss monster, decent attack, piercing, which is always good to have. Primarily, it's because it gives us access to a way to out 25s on its own, which Super King Rex just doesn't. I Suck is hilarious, by the way. Have you played it yet? No, we haven't tried it yet. We got lots... It's very much like the bottom of my list of stuff I'm willing to or wanting to try out, so... Summons these, probably tributes both. Summons out Trigger Drago. Can't get piercing. Can't use this effect either, right? Because it's 2 or less. Uses Lightning Trigger. So weakens one, changes the other to defense, clears the whole board. Now we have 3 pieces of each of our left and right. So the issue is we're only getting 2 draws. That is the big problem. Other than that, like 6 of the cards in our deck are max pieces, as well as we probably still have a middle. Yeah, we have a middle piece in there. 7 of the cards in our deck are max pieces. The issue is survival. So we can just keep shuffling stuff back, I guess. That's probably the smart play. We're only getting 1 attack. So we'll summon out Siesta Torero. We'll activate the effect. We'll put back Siesta and then probably just a couple of these boys. Now, whatever I change to defense doesn't really make any difference unless I want to attack over that, which I don't really want to. He's going to use his skill either way. So we're just getting rid of one of these guys, potentially just temporarily. We're going to have cards left in our hand, so that doesn't matter. So I guess we'll just flip this down. Then we'll set. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon this out. We will just go ahead and activate his effect. Now, I can weaken this by 800, which will put it down to 700, which would mean 2100 damage. I could also reduce this down by 14, down to 11. Which also doesn't really kill. So no matter what, I'm in a bit of an awkward situation here, because I think I do just die on the next turn. This only has 1400 defense, but I can't kill it unless I use this on that and then just hope. I think we're kind of boned either way, so we will just try this. We'll activate TSA. I'll put 1, 2, 3, and then 4 back in the deck. We'll weaken this down. We'll normal summon Dynamix. We'll attack with this. Buffered Slime is fine. I do not care. We were not going for damage this turn, my friend. Oh wait, he's got 4 cards left in his deck because he milled with Buffered Slime! He killed himself! Ah, do we save that replay? That's a really weird game. I kind of want to. That is very funny. That is very, very funny. Wait, you missed game? Set the level 4. Attack 0 defense for game. Trying to think what life points he was on now. Maybe. I didn't think he was low enough that 28 would kill, but maybe he was, and I just wasn't paying attention. I mean, either way, that was a funny game. Oh, he was at 25? Okay. I mean, again, our entire strategy there was just get out the maximum. Like, we had chances to get more chip damage earlier, and we just didn't take it because we were just like, get to the maximum. And then, unfortunately, the maximum just didn't want to come. Alright, it's another Psychic. What has happened? We've been playing the last few days, and it's been nothing but machines and blue eyes. And today, it's basically just Psychic and Cyburst with like one Thunder player. Right, let's see what he's got. You should make a compilation video of just funny wins. The problem is that's a lot of like faff. It means like taking up replay space, which is a little bit annoying. If I want to take it straight from VODs, that's also really annoying. Well, there's a Roman pick that's just going to go to the graveyard. Psychic hype is real, feels okay, man. I mean, I'd like Psychic to be good. I mean, it might... This is the situation, right? If Psychic can't beat dinosaurs, then you know you're in a tough spot, right? Oh, no. My poor Mech Therizoraptor. No, there's another card I just don't need right now. I guess I'll normal summon this. We'll go ahead and activate the effect. There's a Dynamix middle piece in the grave, so I can't shuffle that back yet. Then we're going to go ahead and Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon this. We'll activate its effect. Mill again. Well, it's a lot of maximum in the graveyard right now. He has no cards in hand, so I think we will flip this up. We will go ahead and activate Siesta Torero, and we'll go ahead and pop just a couple of boys back in the deck. Then we're going to set this, because I want this for the follow-up. And we're only going to leave these two in attack, because I'm not expecting this attack to land. There's so many different cards he could have to stop it. Okay, we could have got an extra 13 in, but like the punish on the crackback would have been so much worse if we left that in attack mode. Our back row is still there to save us at the moment. We'll see if it actually matters. What happens when you activate Slime when you have no card in deck? I just want to activate. If you can't resolve the requirement, you just won't be able to activate it. Or you can't resolve the effect. It's not a requirement, it's part of the effect. Oh no, a speedy performer. Don't have Jamp check, you jerk. Bloody one of. Okay. It'd be really nice if Jamp check could hit, like, Talismanic Seal Array or something, but it always hits my Buffet Slime. And this displeases me. Okay. Are we gonna Rambo in with the 400? It would have worked, but he chose not to. Well, the maximum's getting closer and closer. I guess we'll activate Trigger. I think we will flip this up, and we will set this. We'll also set this. Go to battle. Let's see if we can clear this. I probably should have attacked this one first. Question is, does he want to use... He does want to use it. Why? Is that because you just want your life points lower for your other type of effects? Because, I mean, we're on 53. Now, he could kill us from 53, but can he? Why didn't they put the mill card in requirement? Why didn't they? I mean, I guess the logic is... It doesn't really make any difference, right? The requirement is just when an opponent's level 8 monster declares an attack. They could have done it in any way, I guess. In Rush, it doesn't really matter as much. Because obviously in Speed, there's a difference between cost and effect, right? There isn't really a distinction between that in Rush. It doesn't come up. Jump up. Okay. I'm a little bit worried we're about to get OTK'd. If he has another jump up, I think we're just cooked. Yeah, I'm not letting him finish that off. He can go fuck himself. That is just textbook getting sacked, right? He had the jump check to hit our trap card, and then he had literally everything he needed to pop off there. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. If he hits our only back row, we can't do anything there. And if he just has every other card, it's like whatever. Alright. Let's see what the next game holds. Hopefully we'll get a real game. The problem is, whenever you get like utterly sacked like that, it's not meaningful, right? We don't learn anything from that because that's not going to happen that often. So it's just kind of a waste of time for the most part, which is kind of sad. I think we'll just go on the defensive here. And then we'll just pass. Okay. What are we on? Is this machines? This could just be aggro. Also, what skill are we using? We're using Sky Emperor. It's almost a maximum. Let's go for this. We'll summon this. We'll activate the effect. We'll send this and draw. Then we're going to flip up Essel. And we're going to use Essel's effect. That is really bad draws, unfortunately. Or discards, I should say. Then we'll flip this up. We're going to just go ahead and set this. We're going to get a little bit greedy. And we're going to see what happens. 1400 baht. Let's see what this is. Is this another 1400 baht? 1200 baht. Okay. Oh, is this just like a really boring SAR build? Is that what this is going to be? I think this is just going to be a really boring SAR build. In which case, what we just did is really bad. Wow. And it's a really bad SAR build, apparently. Hey, the boy showed up. Is there a reason to do anything else right now? Not really. Let's go, maximum summon. Come forth! Dynamic Dino Dynamics! Out comes the boy. We'll go ahead and activate our skill. I would love to have this Gaze of the Sky Emperor, you know. Then we will go ahead and activate Gaze of the Sky Emperor. We'll discard, and you know what? I would like this to be in attack mode. Then, you know what? I'd love to activate the effect. We'll just discard this, that's fine. Let's pop this, and let's pop this. Then we'll just go to battle, and we'll give you a cheeky swing. Let's see what you got for us. So he has probably a negate attack here. A curtain of sparks. That's very funny. Then we'll just pass. Right, so he's on 3,200 life points. Show the build afterwards. Did I miss the first max summon? Now, this is our, like, third max summon. I still think we need to change this deck a little bit. We keep just jumping into new games instead of, like, actually going back and fiddling with it, but... Would you look at that? It's a seahorse carrier. Where are we going with this? Grab back a body. Summon out the body. So, you have to summon an 8 as spellcasters. Tribute set, and then set another back row. Aha. So, I'm going to go ahead and activate Dynamics again. There's no reason to hold on to Triggered Cavalry because we already have these two cards. I'm then going to set Recital in case he does find an out. I don't even need to use this skill right now. There's no reason to unless our guy gets outed. We'll just go battle. We'll swing in. So he probably has a negate attack for this one. Like, just Curtain Sparks again. That's very funny. It's kept him alive. Let's see if our opponent can draw something out. Did I miss the first max summon? I meant the enemy deck. Oh, you want to see his build? Right. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, there isn't a spellcaster maximum. 7's Axel Road. Oh no, it's 7's Road Magician. Did we just let him attack us? Magical Stream, okay. Did he hit the Recital? which is the one to hit. And now we're going to lower the number of monsters in our graveyard. So we're just digging for what? TSA? TSA would put me down to 14. That would be, what, 14? It still wouldn't be lethal. Thanks to my ability to just not be killed. What do you have for me, 7's XL Road player? We have 2 cards to work with. Oh, they closed the app. Okay. The ultimate out. This guy is filing a report on Konami that Dynamax is tier 0. Exactly. Not even Overrush SAR. Not everyone can afford to go into the selection box, okay? Not everyone has the... Even I had to do a little bit of grinding to be able to finish out getting all the free packs. We'll save that one. We might not play against another SAR, so we just want the diversity more than anything else. I would like to play against, like, Blue Eyes and Machines and stuff today, but, like, no one seems to be playing it on ladder. Oh, wait, no, we were going to change the deck. That's what we were going to do. Deck editor. Hi, glad to see you're playing My Boy Dynamax. I mean, we're trying. We're trying. This is our build at the moment. It's a little bit crusty, but, like, it does get the job done a lot of the time. I think we're going to take out the Siestas. Siesta is nice, but I don't think it's accomplishing what we need it to accomplish right now. And we are bricking a little bit, so we are going to probably just look for, like, the Aqua Engine. I think that's going to feel better. Okay, sad Final Fantasy music. You can play now. We're not even in a duel. Usually we skip you, but we're in quite a good time for it. Looks sick when in maximum mode. I mean, it does. It definitely does. This deck feels kind of awkward. The logic of the deck is sound, right? Thunder Cavalry is just better. It's like arguably the best boss monster that isn't limit 3, right? I think that's my logic for including it. On top of the fact that Duckbill is a nice little package to go with it, so we can get it back. It works out quite nicely. Again, there's no reason to be on the other dinosaurs outside of exactly just discards for Mech Therizoraptor. The question then becomes, do we even need Mech Therizoraptor? The logic is we discard spare maximum pieces. But, like, it hasn't been coming up that much. So we could just put in something that's just a better body. Also fills up the deck again, which you don't really want with the max. Why no Blue Eyes or... Why no... Blue Eyes or Archfiend? Oh, because you're asking why we don't have a legend in here. The answer is we just don't really need it. Like, there's not really a reason not to. It's just like, if it doesn't bring a ton of value. The problem is using any of the high levels is going to brick us a little bit, which is kind of what we don't want. The main issue is that Dynamix is a big old brick. And the best way to get it out of our hand is always going to be Mech Therizoraptor. Can I request a replay? Yeah, we can watch a replay in a minute. You, I don't know if you're already on my friends list. If you are, that'll make things easier. I think we'll leave it like this for now. I do think Mech Therizoraptor is nice to just get the spare Dynamaxes out of the hand. Or Dynamixes out of the hand, so... Now, what about Talismanics? Can burn and debrick. I mean, I don't really like them personally. First off, we don't need the burn. We just don't, right? Like, our entire game plan is just get to Dynamix, and then nothing else really matters on top of that. Alright, let's go and add some friend. That's if it will let us. Come on, Konami. What are we doing? Friends. Search. Question is, do we have room even? Which means we should have room. We might go through and do another purge at some point. Who hasn't been on in a while? Hours, hours, minutes, minutes, hours, hours, minutes, minutes. We're looking for, like, days. Tomato Sauce F, that guy sucks. Let's get rid of them. 70 days from Fast Tomato. Alright, get out of here, Fast Tomato. Alright, so that should be... Yeah, Zaki Boy's on. Alright, we only have one replay, so I'm going to go out on a ledge and assume this is the replay. Alright, Plat 2 versus Plat 5. Rex Raptor versus Arcana. Okay, okay. Seems like you are the only Tato playing. I mean, possibly. Oh, dual avatars. I am very, very unfamiliar with dual avatars, so I'm going to be very bad at explaining anything that is going on here. Dual avatar invitation, summon out the token, fuse into these guys. Then we're going to fuse the token into that one. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and read all of these cards. There's far too much text to go through them all. What are we doing here? Cauldron of the Old Man. What are we doing here, Zaki? What's going on? Did we wake up today and decide that evil was the flavor of the day? You excited for the Rush League? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited for the Rush League. It's fun just to play. Marshmallow with the burn. Why did you want us to watch this, Zaki boys? Like, what made you be like, oh, guys, you've got to check out the Stool Burn replay. It was lit. I stomped on this guy. I have no idea what Dual Avatar really does, so I don't really know if they have it out to this. The whole Japanese team scares me for the league. What do you mean? I frequently just destroy all the Japanese players. But yeah, I do think Japanese players in general are quite good. The thing is, I think a lot of people get, like, too wound up that, like, oh, Japanese players are, like, the best thing since sliced bread. They're the best players in the entire world. They're on a completely other level. It's like, no, they're just human beings, man. Okay, goes to evil. Defeating Eye. Pop the marshmallow and gets in. Draw Sense low level. Cauldron of the Old Man. Plus 2,000 life points. Ra's Disciple. Mystic Box. This will give control over and pop a monster. How do we survive this, though? Oh, he has to give up a monster to do that. Oh, okay. We activate a new field spell to get Kokoku. 3 cards left in deck. Getting for 11 thanks to the heal from Poison of the Old Man, or Cauldron of the Old Man. We are still alive. Discard to, or destroy it to draw a card. 250 life points, and then he just passes. Did he know what this was? And that's why he didn't attack it. Yep, we watched that. We watched that. I think they play slower, have more flexible decks, and you can see they're less patient and know they don't need to win fast all the time, where Western culture is very here now mentality. Yeah. I understand what you mean. But, like, I think that just means they're going to be a little bit better, rather than, like, they're going to be, like, crazy. Because, like, I mean, you've seen me do tournament runs, right? In Japanese tournaments, where I play the slow, patient game, right? And I managed to, like, I took second place in one, and I won another one. I made top 4 in another. Like, it's not, like, insurmountable, I guess is my point. Alright, let's jump back in to some more Dino Rank. Let's see what we can come up with. It's all thanks to TikTok. Yeah, Japan doesn't have TikTok, famously. Ari. Ari was in a tournament recently playing Psychic. Oh, this is a really bad matchup, now that I think about it. This is also a really bad hand. This is not ideal. Right, we're going to set. We're going to just kind of hope. So having these two in hand kind of sucks, but we can, if our opponent doesn't pop our back row, use the... that sucks. Now we're in a really shitty position. Because I was going to say, we can just get rid of one of these. So that's not the end of the world. But now things are looking very dire because our opponent sacked into just opening the Ghost Cyclone. Okay, that's fixed things a little bit. How do we want to do this? The problem is we're against a really annoying deck. I think we have to tribute this out. I don't think we can afford to not. We have too many bricks in hand. I think we then also have to do this, which is this again is not a good play because this gets beaten so easily by Doom Metal, and any back row just also stops this. But like, I don't think I could just sit here with all of these tribute monsters in my hand. Okay, milling that's not bad. We'll get him for the 28. All three back row dead, which means he's going to have another Ghost Cyclone back there. Maybe even two. Wait, Ari, I know that guy? Yeah, so we expected this completely. It's not such a bad play now Widespread is less used. But you commit and you get hard punished, so now at least you keep a board with Negate. The issue is that he's playing a deck that summons out two very problematic boss monsters, and both of them take massive advantage of this board state. So if he summons out Doom Metal, he wipes the whole board, gets 1400 damage in, and then gets to capitalize on it. If he summons out just Heavy Metal, he gets to pop one and attack over the other one for 2500 damage. So like, both of which really suck for me. So he's got almost lethal, and there's lethal. So that is why. This is why. It's bad. We will save that replay, because that is a good example of one of the negatives of this deck. Now, to be fair, that was a bit of a brick game, but I think that still does show quite a big weakness of this build. And a lot of decks don't have the ability to play around Heavy Metal, or play around Royal Rebels in general, and this is one of those decks. And the issue is, we can't even just say, like, oh, he sacked us. Like, all of those cards are multiples in the deck. Like, the chances of opening a hand that can summon that is so likely in that build. Are Noodles even better with their new back row removal card? I, personally, don't even think you run it. I think Noodles require so much back row to keep them safe that I think the only reason you play the Noodle back row hate is just if you're playing the balls to the walls full aggro Noodle build, which is just objectively worse. So like, you want to play Noodles as like a control burn deck, because by doing that you can play around everything in the format. If you play it as balls to the walls aggro, you get countered by pretty much every deck in the format. So like, you want the ability to be able to go full aggro when you need to. That is a really bad draw. But you don't want it just all the time. That is such a bad draw. I mean, what else can we do, right? We set. We get this out. The issue is, this board gets broken, we take a crap ton of damage back, and our deck just kind of hard loses to this deck. This is probably our worst matchup out of every single matchup in the game. Because, like, our maximum loses to every other maximum, and we have no way outside of exactly negate attack to not die to his maximum. And then even if we do have negate attack to stop it, we then need to draw a Talismanic Seal Array and to have that be live in order to also do anything. So how would you judge the new meta? We could... The new meta is a weird one. I think it goes without saying machines are performing quite well. Machines have won the 3 big events that we've had, which have all been around 40 players. So, like, there's that. I think Royal Rebels are still very strong. I think Overlord is still very strong. I think Noodles are still good. Harpy's still good. Blue Eyes is okay, but I think Blue Eyes is struggling a little bit. I've seen a couple of people put Blue Eyes as like tier 1 or like high tier 2. I think Blue Eyes is like high tier 3, personally. I think Blue Eyes has so many weaknesses that just cannot be filled. And the deck is always going to be kind of a bricky mess. Ugh. That's not ideal. But we are so close to a maximum. But again, even if we get out the maximum, we'd have to win very quickly. Otherwise, we just lose anyway. Alright, well, we have to do this. Let's grab this back. Like we said, this is our absolute worst matchup. We were not realistically going to be winning this no matter what. Because, like, we lose to anything, right? If he just needs to use his skill, we lose 800 attack, we get down to 17. So just any 2000 attacker wins in the game. And we can even use this to weaken us as well. So we're dead anyway, like, to anything. It doesn't help that we've bricked really hard, but yeah, let's just get out of here. Unfortunately, we've bricked pretty hard the last 2 games. We're just bricking on all our high levels. We have only 6 high levels in the deck, but we're seeing all of them in like the first 2 turns, which is really not ideal. Which Blue Eyes build? I think all of the Blue Eyes builds are kind of shit, to be honest. I don't think Blue Eyes is a particularly good deck right now. The issue is that the Red Eyes deck has too many high levels in it, and the Blue Eyes version has too many high levels in it. I think realistic. What is this? This is 3 games in a row. I just want to play the game. Ah! We'll just draw the 3rd max piece, trust. Easy, right? I don't see a point in setting the monster. We'll just die. I think our better option is just to hope he can't do 6,000 damage in 1 turn and get 1 more chance at a draw. So that's 25, 25. So a 1,000 attack monster kills it. Yeah, that's just game. I mean, again, what are we supposed to do? Even if we set the monster, we still just die there. Like, we don't have any follow-up. 4 tribs, 3-1 tribs. Yeah, which is too many. It's too many. That is how you just brick every single game. That is just brick city. If you don't brick, you've gotten lucky. And if you have to rely on getting lucky in order to win, your deck is bad. That is just how I see it. Alright, let's see. Realistically, we're not going to win this game. This is, assuming this is the actual Kai. It's a pretty decent player. I don't know, Machine plays 6, 7 easily. There is a massive, massive, massive difference there, Whistling Bird. Machines have cards to cheat out their boss monsters frequently. You do not have that same thing with Blue Eyes. Therefore, it's not the same comparison at all. To be fair, again, you can just brick on Machine as well. That is something that will happen. And when it does, you just go, oh, well, we bricked, move on. But it will happen far, far less than in the Blue Eyes decks. I don't run 7 shifter machines. Yeah, but you are playing Bicorn. Not to mention, if you are just playing 7 high levels with no way to help them out, and you don't brick, you are just getting lucky. That is all there is. That's just statistically true. Like, you can't argue that. It's a fact. Right, we're having a big think turn 1. What is our opponent going to throw down? Now, I always get Essel Trust. Mate, your Essels yesterday were so disgusting. It was literally 2 games. So both the games you went second, you opened Essel. Both games milled into Barrel Dragon. Both games won the coin flip on Barrel Dragon. And then the other game, obviously you went first, so you didn't need Essel. But like, that was so painful, so painful. There was nothing I could realistically do. I think the fact I almost won, the fact I almost beat you, is such a massive accomplishment. Tribute set. So that's potentially a Justice or thingy. All right, we're going to summon out a Kanan. We're just going to set the other 2. We're then going to go ahead and set these 2. We are going to attack into that defense mode because if it is a Torna, I want it gone. Then we just pass. Also, stopping by after I somehow ran into you on ladder and do metal things. I mean, we were saying, Ari, like, we were bricked up in that game, so we had to do what we had to do, and our deck is just a joke deck anyway. Like, we're not expecting this deck to be an actual competitive, viable thing. It loses to so many things in the meta. Blue Eyes Rain, so he has the Kyberman in hand. Have to put back a card. Reveals the Kyberman, grabs out the Bright Dragon. So that's kind of fine. We're kind of chilling right now. Like, we can take 1600. That's completely okay. The question is going to be... I guess he's on Torna, which means he's not going to be on the piercing stuff, most likely. What's going down? Well, come on in, Dragson. We are just playing some dinosaurs, is what we're doing. We're having a little bit of To be fair, we have won every single game we've summoned the dinosaur max, right? Every single game it's hit the board, we do win. The problem is getting that to happen. Now, the other problem is our opponent is playing a level 8 deck, which means all he needs is TSA to out our big boy when we do eventually get to him. Another weird hand. Well, we have to summon this. We don't get a say in that, so we'll go ahead and Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon. Activate the effect. Mill another dino. We'll just put all that back in. Probably. We'll do this just because, again, we want to make room, and we want these cards back in anyway. Obviously, putting back the Kanan is not ideal, but I want to be able to set my whole hand. Even if he stops the attack, it's still kind of okay. Let's see if he does stop the attack. Okay, he's not going to. He's just going to take the 19. Which is also fine. Yeah, I can kind of tell when the Sky Emperor spell is the only one being run, this is probably a meme. Yeah, it's just because there's no other way to, like, get damage in if your opponent just sets 3. Now, you could just make the argument that, like, the deck shouldn't be trying to plug up every hole, because when you do that, you end up spreading yourself a little bit thin. And just focus on one thing. But then, like, the problem is, like, what is that one thing that you focus on? Like, what other skill could you put in here that suddenly makes this better? It's not easy. Is that a Blue Eyes Bright Dragon? I mean, we're not going to use any back row on this. Straight to battle. He's going to swing in. Get the 500 damage. Huh. I mean, there is stuff we can do here. We'll set this. We'll go ahead and Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. So he has his ice, his freeze. He has freeze. What does that mean for us in the grand scheme? We only have him left. So we only have 1 copy left in our deck. We are going to get a little bit greedy. We're going to hold this in hand. I think we're going to keep the greed going a little bit. We'll get him for the 300, and then we'll just pass. So again, keeping this in hand is really greedy, but we do have back row to protect us a little bit, so we shouldn't be too worried. Yeah, the new box is given a surge to rush. Ladder is full, tournaments 30+, and more often plenty of viewers on streams too. It's nice. It's always a nice thing to see rush thriving, right? The thing is, I don't know if I actually like this meta very much personally. Obviously, it's still very early days, right? So it's a very... how should I rephrase this? My first impression of this current meta is not super favorable. I think that could balance out. But right now, I think there are a few more like annoyances than there is like benefits, I guess is where I'm going with that. We're going to use Siesta Torero. Okay. That's a very nice mill to see. That's going to get popped. Going to attack there. I guess I will just use the buffered slime here. Not dying seems like a good idea. Ah, stop giving me the wrong max pieces, bro. Right, we're going to go Mech Thera's Interrupter. We're going to activate the effect. Go ahead and discard to draw. This is where things get a little bit awkward, because now if I want to use that... Right, we'll summon this. We are going to use this because I just want the value more than anything. Then I'm going to summon out Duck. Go ahead and activate Duck. Bring back Trigger Drago. Well then, Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Okay, so we knew this was coming. Now we're going to get super greedy, right? We're just going to chill and hope our back row doesn't get popped. That is the play. That is the winning play, is just don't have your back row popped, survive another turn, potentially get 3 draws, draw into the max, and play from there. That is our win con. The issue is, even if we do get it out, the chances of us actually winning is still extremely low, because all he needs, because again, he's playing a level 8 deck, all he needs is a TSA, and we're boned. So we need to find, because we're also going to be forced to use on a gate attack just to survive the turn, assuming it doesn't get popped, we're going to need to find exactly Recital. And even Recital won't necessarily save us. But I mean, if we don't summon the max, we're just going to be dead anyway. Hold. Now, if he does have Tribute to the Doomed, we're still going to get cooked. How do we want to do this? Because we need to set this. So I have to use... Does this have to discard a monster? One monster from your hand to the graveyard. And the other one is monster as well. How many spell traps we used? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 1 spell trap left in our deck. Do we get greedy? Do we get greedy? We are going to get greedy. We are going to get greedy. If we get punished and we hit the 1 in 12, then it's whatever. Okay, we're fine. Pop this. We pop this. We set. We swing. Right, we pass. Alright. Is this the number 1 GRF Kai? This is a Japanese player called Kai. That is all I could tell you. Right, there's the TSA. Now, if he can't summon 2 monsters, our monster does get to live here. Or if he doesn't pop our back row. Machines have so many options and ways to play them. Nearly all their small monsters have effects, and they are all meaningful. It's Not that they're broken, but it seems like they're more modern than some of the other decks, so the meta is going to feel a little wonky until people figure out how to modernize older decks to counter machines. I mean, it's a weird one, right? Because the problem you're going to have is that we don't necessarily have all the tools to be able to do that. I think that's going to be the problem. Granted, it has a lot of other problems, but this didn't have to be one Konami. Dynamaximum just has no good skill to go with it. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, right? Like, we're using the best we have. The problem is that the Dinosaur Maximum is so, like, flawed. Right? Like, it has so many problems. Yeah, we can't do anything about that. That's going to be game as well, because that now beats us through Recital. And we know he's got... Right, we'll let him finish us off. Yeah, there was nothing we could do through Tribute to the Doomed, right? Tribute to the Doomed was the one thing that no matter what, we get cooked. But if he didn't have Tribute to the Doomed, based on his play there, I think we would have won. I'm pretty sure we do just win if he didn't have Tribute to the Doomed. So we'll save that replay again. That's a good one to have. And the fact as well, we got that close to beating that deck just goes to show, I think more than anything, that shows the weakness of the Blue Eyes deck more than it shows anything about our deck. Like, Blue Eyes should not be struggling that much against dinosaurs. Like, that just shouldn't be happening. Are you going to try out machines today? No, not today. Because we're only going to be streaming for another, like, half an hour. We're doing a short stream today. Right, let's see what our next opponent's going to be. So many high levels for machines too. Even if they didn't get Gold Rush, they'd have the normal flag mech. It's a weird one though, right? Because Gold Rush is so much better than Tough Striker. Unfortunately, once again, this is a really bad matchup for us. Which, to be fair, is something we're going to have to just keep saying. Like, our deck just has so many bad matchups. Which I think is the final nail in the coffin, right? Even if this deck was semi-competent, it still loses to Overlord. It loses to Yggdrago. It loses to Royal Rebels. It has a pretty bad matchup into Blue Eyes just because it's a level 8-centric deck. Like, there's so much in the meta that just defeats the Dinosaur Maximum. Like, it's such a shame. How often does Gold Rush effect come up, though? Very, very, very often. Far more often than it should. It comes up literally almost every single game. It is so powerful. People really underestimate it. I mean, I'm not going to do anything, mate. I'm just going to chill. You can either use it to grab back low levels from your graveyard, so like the 1500 beaters, or you use it to get back Tough Striker, which comes up a lot, and even, quite often, you end up cheating out the Tough Striker with the effect as well, which, although you feel like it shouldn't come up very often, it does. I mean, at this point, do we just wait until we've got like 2 copies of the Maximum so we can try and win, like, after he outs us? I can't play the game. Like, you have the option to go aggressive, I don't. Only one back row, though. It's a bit weird. Boobies 2. Okay, so we are starting to go aggressive now. Oh my god, is that Shadow Buyer? Oh my god, is that another Shadow Buyer? Gold Rush could be the first pay-to-win card for Rush. I mean, maybe. It's a weird one. Well, we're going to set this. We're going to set this. And then... I guess I set this. And we'll just pass. I mean, I don't know if you want 3 Gold Rush, you can get 2 for free from gems. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Some people are running, like, I've literally seen lists of people being like, 3 Mirror Innovator, 3 Gold Rush, 2 Tough Striker, and the Barrel Dragon. And I'm like, bro, you're on 9 Tribute Monsters. Even with cards like 7 Shift, and even with cards like Bicorn, you're still going to brick out of your ass. Like, stop. Subscribed with Prime from Corono. Thank you so much, Corono. We really do appreciate that. Good day, sir. I see Dino Supremacy. I mean, Dino something. I'm not sure Supremacy is going to be the top of our choice of words for this. The problem is, when we do eventually get our maximum out, it's going to get killed. With Prime. And then we're going to need a backup strategy. So I want like a second maximum, but now that our cards are getting dwindled down, we can't really have that. And we do need to hold Seahorse where we do eventually draw a Tribute Monster to unbrick our hand. So this isn't looking good. I run 3 Mirror, 2 Gold, 1 Tough, and a Barrel. Yeah, see, that seems like good ratios to me. I think I kind of like that, like the 7. Just Destiny Draw, skill issue. Seems like a good ratio because of recycling. Yes, that's how I think. I think 7 feels about right in that deck because, again, you can run 1 or 2 7 Shift if you want to. And you obviously have 3 copies of Bicorn. Where are my middle pieces? And where's any of my Tribute Monsters? We just haven't seen anything. This is creating issues. Because I also don't really want to end with a bunch of cards in my hand. 2 of those in graveyard already. We always set this. I think we can get away with just summoning this, to be honest. Because if it gets popped, it's whatever. And otherwise, we just have 2 monsters anyway. Question is do we use this? I don't think we do. We only draw 2 cards this way, but putting 4 more cards in our deck that aren't going to be the piece we need just seems annoying. Alright, so he could pop this if he wants to, and then go for a direct attack for like 25. That is something he could do. He's got all the cards in his hand that he needs to be able to do it, so... While the skill debricks the deck as well. I mean, yeah, the skill is a weird one as well. I'd like to see, like, a better skill, personally, but, like... The skill we have is, like, fine, right? And the fact that... Well, we have to do this now. We don't get a choice. Activating that doesn't do anything for me. I have to get cards out of my hand, though. I think we just have to commit some stuff to the board. Do we activate this again? But that seems so bad. So bad. No, we just set this. We're like bricking in like the weirdest way right now. Like we are bricking in like the absolute strangest way possible. We take the 1000 burn. I think we just have to use a back row, to be honest. We just need our back row gone, which is annoying. Assuming none of the Earth Draw skills work for Dino. I mean, you could get like some of the lower pieces, but like other than that. Alright. We'll go Carrier, grab this back. Set this. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon. Activate the effect. Right, trigger Drago in the graveyard. That's probably for the best, to be honest. We'll set this. We'll go to battle, and we will just swing into something. I don't know. Swing into this. Yeah. Take your 500, dude. I run them at 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1 copy of 7 Shift, 3 Essel putting in work. Yeah, that seems, you know, pretty good. I was playing 1 copy of 7 Shift as well. I've seen some people like go back and forth over like whether they like using 7 Shift or not. Got the Essel. Alright, we take the Essel hit. Then we'd use Buffered Slime. That was a good mill as well. Where are my maximum pieces? What is happening? They're all 3 still in here? Oh my god. We weren't meant to win this one, bros. It's just not meant to be. Oh, I just want my maximum. Where is my boy? Alright. Summon Carrier. Activate the effect. Grab this back. Activate Reincarnation. Discard. Grab back Trigger Drago. Set. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon this guy. Set. Battle. I'm just going to swing into this. I don't even want to mill. They're going to pass. We physically cannot not draw the maximum now. We physically cannot. There is no possible way. Surely. Unfortunately, we are going to have to use Unegate attack here, which stinks. Is TCM for the league Japanese? Because there would be 3 Japanese teams. I haven't looked at any of the like teams in the leagues at all. Well, negate attack. Now, come on. We have 3 of them still in the deck. Give me my max. Thank you. Holy. Alright, so now we'll go for the maximum summon. Out comes the boy. We'll go ahead and activate our skill. We'll get that out, why not? We're then going to go ahead and activate his effect. We'll just discard this. We'll get rid of this and this. Then we're going to activate TSA. We'll put back 1, 2, 3. We've already got all of them in the deck. What else do I need? I don't know, like this. To battle! Attack! Nya! The problem now is we do just die. Because we had to use all of our defensive traps early just to get to this stage. Now all he needs to do is summon out Doom Metal and the game is over. There's nothing we can do. He knew what that back row was, so there was no reason to use it. So he's just using that to make room. Oh, you think we're getting a next turn, Whistling Bird? Oh, that's very, very confident of you to think that. Excited for hero structure. Mostly old cards ported over so far, but sure, Rush exclusive support incoming. I mean, yeah. What are we doing with this? Where are we going with a level 5? If we have what we need, we just do it, right? If we have Doom Metal and 2 other cards, we just summon them out. Okay, that puts me down to 14. You would need 3 high-level monsters attacking over this to actually kill. Or you need a second TSA. My guess is he's going to have a second TSA. And now he's going to have lethal, which is very sad, but we can't play around this. There is physically no way to play around this. The fact as well that we aren't getting Doom metaled is already something of a miracle. Doom kills? Yeah, Doom would just kill this. Doom doesn't care about level. So he needs 1300 attack on a normal summon that is a fiend. That is all he needs to win. Well, that's not going to do it. You now need 1200. Another copy of him would do it. And that is exactly lethal. I mean, it's a shame, but it is what it is. Again, I think we played this as well as we could have. I think realistically, there wasn't a way for us to win that. We will save that replay, though. That's a decent enough replay to save. Yeah, we literally went down to 7 cards in deck, and all 3 of our maximum pieces were in the bottom 7. It's like, what can we even do? If we had survived, we probably win. But, like, we didn't survive, so it didn't matter. Would even destroy battle is what I mean. I mean, that, again, even if it got destroy battle, that doesn't matter. Because what matters is that our life points are still there. If he committed into that, he wouldn't have had any other monsters, so he wouldn't have been able to get any other direct damage in. So we would have lost 1100, been alive, almost certainly drawn into the maximum again. Especially since our deck at that point was, I think, all maximum pieces, and then like 3 Mech the Resiniraptor. The issue we're having is just maximum hard to summon. That is the core fundamental thing. Every game we get our maximum out, we're generally doing okay. The only 2 games where we summon the maximum and lost have literally been our last 2 games, and that's because we couldn't summon our maximum until so late in the game. Like, if it wasn't for that, we would be kind of okay. Yeah, let's defeat Korea right here, right now. Hammer Crush deal as well, so he's just playing aggro. Unfortunately, that isn't going to do a lot. Let's get greedy. Let's keep this in hand. I think, again, our win con is we just summon the max. So we are going to have to get greedy at some point and just hoard maximum pieces, I think. Otherwise, we're just going to die. I think what we might do is take TSA out of the deck. Now, so it's a weird problem because TSA lets us out maximums, which is something we need to be able to do. But against everything else, it's like not doing anything. Like, it's not really helping very much. Is that a trigger, Drago? And you hit my monster reincarnation? That's kind of sad. I think we go back to the argument we made before of, is it worth including cards to try and beat every matchup when the deck barely wins any matchups anyway? And I think the answer to that is just no. I think we're better off hyper-specializing, so we're good at one thing, and then just accepting we're going to lose to most of everything else. Because right now, we're just kind of losing to everything. Okay, we just go on the defensive here, I think. Like, we could try and get lucky, but, like, just trying to get lucky just does not seem like the way. Or, well, you can decide between max and set 3. What do you mean by that? As long as he doesn't have a Dragius, we're still kind of chilling. Well, there's the boy. So now there's a 2-turn clock on the game. So now we need to draw the last maximum piece, or the game is pretty much over. You can decide between max and set 3 for specializing. I still don't understand what you're saying. Oh, okay, well, it's not a 2-turn clock then. We've been gifted an extra turn. I mean, he's 2 Hammer Crushes down. Let's just see what we draw. Alright, what is our opponent going to do? Is he going to have more back row hate? Looks like no. I think we have to use Slime here. Taking the 2000 is obviously not great, but the difference is we can use our negate attack while we have the max out. Okay, we at least have this online, so we'll go Seahorse Carrier, activate the effect, grab back Kanan, set, Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon the boy, set this, activate Trigger Drago, there's the guy, go to battle phase, attack over this. Now, if he has back row to protect this, he has back row to protect this. It doesn't make any difference, because if our back row gets popped, it doesn't matter anyway. That's what he does. How do you pick a struggle when there are so many? It's all struggle. Truer words never spoken. Unfortunately, yeah, it's an issue of when the deck is just kind of bad at everything, how do you find something to make it remotely playable? The problem with any deck right now is you, at the deck building process, have to say, alright, how does my deck beat Overlord? How does my deck beat Royal Rebels? Like, how does my deck beat machines? And if you don't have a good answer to those questions, what's the point of playing it, right? Yeah. Get negated, son. Now, we'll just draw into one of our 2 remaining. There we go. Maximum Shogun! Out comes the boy. Now, we'll go ahead and activate Set Sky Emperor. Well then, I mean, we don't even have to use it. Like, we straight up just do not have to use it. We will just do this. I'm going to discard this. I'm going to pop this. I'm going to pop this. Then I'm going to go straight to battle. I'm just going to swing. And we'll just pass. Okay, now, we're still not very foolproof. He's used these 2, which is quite nice. He still could have another TSA. He could have, like, multiple TSA, to be honest. And we've unfortunately, again, had to use all of our back row to get to this stage. Now, this fills me with confidence. Behold. We will simply discard, and I will change this face up. No, I don't want to draw a card, you know. I don't need to deck out faster. We'll use the effect to discard a monster. Then I'm going to pop these 2. Then we'll just go straight to battle. We'll just swing. Yeah. Come on, we can do this. Slowly but surely. We just need him to not draw it out. If we had more life points, we'd be feeling a lot better, because then TSA wouldn't even be able to kill us. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I am in danger. Help. We've got 1 max piece left in our deck we could draw to actually do a max summon, assuming this gets outed and we're not just immediately dead. Tribute set. Okay, we're going to tribute set. Then we're going to set. Set another back row. Then we're going to pass. So we draw. We will go ahead and activate his effect. We will discard this. And we need to pop this one. Probably going to pop this one. Then we need to activate the skill. Grab this back. At this point, if our max dies, we're just dead anyway, so there's no reason to try and hoard it. I mean, is there... We're out of those. We got one of those. Both of those are already in the graveyard, so it doesn't matter anyway. Let's see what you've got behind door number 1. Attack! Yeah! Oh, our opponent had every out they needed and threw them all away before we summoned the max. We take that. We take any little wins we can get. We'll give them a little nice as well. If only they had a talismanic. If they had a talismanic, then I don't think we would have died. We would have taken 11. Because he had 1 Dragius. Now, there's a chance he had another boss monster, but we would have been fine. Because, again, our guy can't die, and Dragius only gets a second attack if it kills something. And just like that, we defeated all of Korea, so that's fine. Those 3 decks are the most troublesome in your opinion. It's not necessarily about being troublesome. It's more those decks are prevalent, and all of them force you to play in a different way. So you need to just have a way to beat those 3. I think if you can beat those 3 decks, your deck is going to be top tier. The problem is there aren't many decks that beat those 3 decks outside of those 3 decks. Just saw my KoG rank up match. I won against Zaga Zaga on his Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's the name I remember from tournaments. Yeah, Zaga Zaga's a proficient tournament player. It's pretty decent. Are you playing in the tournament this evening, Tomato? I am probably playing in it, yeah. By the laws of the OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, do you now own Korea? What, was the entire country the anti? I don't think so. That's a Dark Doom Dread Ruler. Ah. The burn. So this is what? Just aggro? This is like a weird aggro build. I mean, we can't get aggressive, so we're just gonna... We're gonna do the whole wall up thing. And then we pass. You're gonna burn me again. Stop burning me. I disagree with your burn. I mean, if you're not gonna tribute out a Dragius, I'm feeling pretty good. Is he just playing like straight zombie? Like not even just like aggro zombie? Right, we're 1 piece away from our max currently. There's no real reason to do anything other than just continue to wall up. We just pass. He's going to keep burning us, which is annoying. If we get low enough, it's going to become a problem, because then we'll just die to TSA. We haven't seen any of that. Like, we've got the Recital, which is quite nice, and Buffeted Slime is okay, but we'd really like to find the Gate Attack here. Zombie aggro, no. And they are not seeing Dragius. Well, we've only seen zombie cards, and then, like, 1 Sports Dragon. So it's like, it's a bit weird. I don't think you'd play Sports Dragons in this deck, even. We have now seen all 3 pieces of L and no R. This displeases me greatly. I am outraged. I don't really have a good way to empty my hand. Outside of, like, just summoning this. I could try and attack over. That could be funny. Right, behold my play. I tribute 2 monsters to summon the Great Dynamix. Followed by activating Talismanic Seal Array and just putting all of this shit back in my deck. Then I will weaken your puny monster. Then I don't really want to discard, so we're just going to set. Just going to set. And then we'll just try and attack over it. Let's see what he's got. You got any back row for me? If you want to use back row on this, that's fine. I don't care. And we'll just pass. Alright, so we're going to use that to burn us again. It's a really annoying amount of life points, to be honest. When he attacks over this, we're going to lose 1,600. Oh, if he burns us, that actually makes the using slime a lot better for us. The issue is, right, we're still not in a position to actually win this game. They've been clogged up on spell traps once again. Right, let's go slime here. What do we mill? We milled negate attack. Of course we milled negate attack. As long as we draw our last max piece, though, I don't care. Just draw the last max piece. Let's go. Come on. Come on, let's go. Last max piece. Come on, deck. We can do it. Last max piece. Ah! I mean, we die just to burn if we don't get something going. I could set these 3. Take both of the burns for 1,400. Be left on 11. That's probably the play, to be honest. Like, the milling could just lose us the game. Whereas this gives us almost guaranteed another turn. Where's Psychic Video Tomato? Psychics are so far down my list of priorities right now. They're down there with Ice Arc. Just hanging out. Ah, don't do this. Don't just pop my trap card and summon a Dragius. Don't do it. Don't do it. The issue is, as well, is if he just has a way to out our guy, we do just still kind of die. It takes us far too long to get this going. What does the rest of the priors look like? I mean, we want to take a look at machines. Obviously, we want to make, like, a proper machine deck. And, like, properly test with it. We want to look at Dragius and, obviously, or, like, Metageus, I guess. Even though I don't really know. Metageus is also kind of towards the bottom. We're also looking at the Blue Eyes. Although I really don't like Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes just, it feels too bricky. I've played so many games on the Blue Eyes deck, and it just bricks most of the time. See, this is what I didn't want. I did not want this asshole showing up. Made it from Rookie 1 to Bronze 1 with Psychic. Nice. Metageus is above Psychic and Ice Arc? Probably. I think it's... Although Metageus has its problems, it is still probably better than those decks. That goes 1. That goes 2. Behold, Music Princess's Recital! Alright, we just need to draw our last piece! Let's go, draw the last piece! And then he just won't have it out! Fuck! What do we even do? I hate you, Trigger Drago, you know. As much as we're really trying to make this deck work. This deck bricks so much. And we're only on 6 tributes, by the way. We are only playing 6 tribute monsters. And yet, we manage to brick constantly. Needs 1 card, draws Trigger Drago. Draw 2 Trigger Drago. Yeah, I mean, we had this, like, horrid loss streak in the middle. But, like, overall... We did start out quite strong. We started like a 3-win streak. The deck's like bad. Like let's not try and like sugarcoat it. The deck is straight bad. I don't think there is a good way to make dynamics work and actually be good. The card has so many problems, right? It is so bad. So, Dynamix loses to Overlord. It loses to Machines. It loses to Royal Rebels. It kind of loses to Seven's Axel Road. It loses quite hard to Blue Eyes. There's so much in the meta that just completely shits on this card, like, on its own. The funny thing is, in some decks, they just won't have a good way to out it, and then you can just kind of win automatically. And we did see that a few times today. But, like, basically it's like, oh yeah, you can beat bad players playing bad decks, and that's kind of it. And when that's your win con, it's like, is that even really a win con? Is that even really worth playing? Red trash can, add candy, click, auto build deck. I mean, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Do you want a list that is somewhat funny? If you ignore the games you lost, Dynasty 100% win rate. I am curious what that list looks like. Even just getting to Dynamix seems like a hassle. I mean, that is a big problem, right? We do not have a good way to get to it, and the rest of the deck isn't competent enough to keep us going. Because, like, again, we had the other deck, right? We had the original build, which is kind of more all-in on dinosaurs. But, like, this deck has the same problems, except it's even worse, because Super King Rex doesn't do anything, right? A 2500 attack body that just brings back a 15. That's, like, okay, but it doesn't, like, you get away with that with Stormbolt Destroyer because, one, you have Trigger Drago as your backup boss, and because the skill is really, really good for Thunder. We don't get that here. And there isn't really a good skill to put in here. Like, because, I mean, you could say, like, oh, just play this and then use, like, Servant of Dawn. It's okay, now we have to put another 5 bricks in the deck. Like, it's very awkward. I'm glad Dino Maximum is bad because it looks like an annoying max to out. The problem is, it's not actually that bad to out because level 8s just kill it. And, like, a lot of decks are playing 8s, and it doesn't have destruction prevention from monster effects or anything. Why no Essel? Because Essel's bad in this deck. Like, straight up. It's straight up bad. The problem with Essel in here is doing anything with... Bringing back, like, a Super King Rex is not a strong play. It doesn't, like, capitalize on turn 1. It doesn't do anything. Filling the graveyard also a lot of the time is more annoying than anything else. Like, it's good for, like, Monster Reincarnation, but you have just as much chance to mill Monster Reincarnation anyway. Like, we did try a build with Essel, because we were playing Essel in this version of the deck. And we found that it worked okay if our opponent emptied their hand and we found a Trigger Drago, and that was kind of it. Other than that, it's so mid. It's so very mid. Like, Essel really pays off when it can bring back something impactful on the turn you summon the monster, which means it almost always has to be something that has piercing, something that has multi-attack, or something that has an effect that can pop a monster. If it's not doing something on that turn, it is a waste of space, right? So, bringing back a monster that accomplishes nothing and can't get damage in is just not good. That's just kind of how that works. I do like the Mighty Gaze of the Sky Emperor skill in this deck. Like, it's a cute little inclusion, but it's like, it's still too bad. Like, it's just not good enough. The issue is, again, there's no other skill we could put in instead to make this feel any better. We're just kind of always in a shitty situation no matter what. I don't think you can even really cook something up with this. Because, like, the other things you could do to make this feel better... Or what do we just put in the deck? To be honest, I usually Essel middle piece and use skill/spell to make plays with that. And use the skill/spell to make plays with that. I mean, what skill are you even using? Because, unfortunately, Mighty Gaze of the Sky Emperor isn't going to do anything with that. Essel into Mirror Innovator feels great. Exactly, Corono. In Mirror Innovator, a Dragius, Barrel Dragon, any of these cards that do, like, these big things are, like, really, really powerful. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does what? Essel middle piece to field. Ah, I see what you're saying. But even then, Like, what you're saying is extremely high roll, right? It's if I happen to go second and I happen to open Essel and Essel happens to mill the Dynamix, then I can make a play. I don't know. I don't like that. Like, it's not terrible, but like, we get to filter through our deck for one. The skill does make it live, which is something, to be fair. You're only summoning a 19 as well, which is not great. I guess it's not terrible. The issue is, we're going to change something to attack mode. That monster's probably going to have at least 1,000 attack. And then we're going to get in for like 900 damage. Whereas if you got like piercing on an innovator, you're looking at like 2,000 plus damage. And if you get a Dragius, you're looking at 2,500 damage. So like doing all of that for 900 average damage doesn't seem great. I don't know. Like, it's not like it does damage. It gets damage in. It will almost certainly allow you to clear a body. But like, is that enough? I guess is the question. Alternatively, you thin your deck or get one piece Engraver for Reincarnation. The problem is, half the time you will just mill your Reincarnation. We had that a lot today, because we were playing Esso earlier today. Like, we were in a situation where we could do that. I mean, Essel never actually went into Dynamix, because we just never milled it off of Essel. If Essel doesn't mill the middle, it sends some chaff to the grave. Missing, we have better chance to draw max. Or if we mill a load of max pieces, that's also kind of bad for us as well. Or we can help Seahorse, Reincarnation, or TSA. The thing is, we don't really need those things, right? I don't know. We were playing with Essel. Because then the flip side then becomes, okay, so what do we take out to put Essel in, right? Because we took Essel out to make room for the Seahorse engine. So one of the main reasons to include Essel is to put Canaan into the graveyard. Okay, but then if we take out the Seahorse engine, we don't have one less reason to have it in. Monster Reincarnation is nice, but it gets popped most of the time because everyone is playing back row hate. Like, just everyone is on back row hate, and we almost always either see Reincarnation early or it gets milled. Or we have to use it just to stave off death, so it's not actually doing anything. It's an awkward one. Third Talismanic with 3 Essel, maybe, put pieces back in. The problem with that kind of strategy, though, is then that basically says we're just going to keep throwing pieces away again and again and again until we just get lucky enough to draw all 3 pieces. Which, I don't know. I don't know if that feels good. Because the main issue is our skill doesn't actually help us get to our max. Our skill helps us when we've actually got the max. All the other maximum skills basically let you stack your deck to help you get to the maximum itself. Because we don't actually have a real maximum skill, it makes the deck feel really underwhelming. And again, even if the stars align, we do all of this, we're able to summon out our maximum consistently, it still loses to every other deck in the game, right? That's the other issue. Like, this deck wins by saying, okay, I'm just going to hope my opponent doesn't have the out. And almost every deck in the game does have an out to this. And they're not, like, hard to get, right? Like, Royal Rebels are gonna see Doom Metal. That's just gonna happen. They're gonna be able to pop it. Realistically, if you get lucky enough to get this out early, and you can protect it with things like Recital and Negate Attack, you can stave off something like Blue Eyes. But, like, is that gonna be enough, right? Well, if Blue Eyes doesn't need luck, run the Spellcaster version. It's great. That sounds like Cope. That sounds super Cope. It sounds unbelievable Cope. I'm gonna call that now. That is Cope. How much work did Platypus put in? Platypus, when it worked, was invaluable, right? Because it literally just lets us get back the boss monster. The only issue is there were so many games where we would just like draw into like a hand of Dynamix double Trigger Drago, and then we just couldn't do anything. Mystic Dealer, Torna, Light Spellcasters. So you're basically just describing the regular Blue Eyes list with Mystic Dealers put in. I don't know. The whole Blue Eyes is super cope right now, I think. I think people think it's better than it is. And I think the main reason for that is they just kind of don't brick in a deck that plays a huge pile of bricks. It's more optimal to play 3 Eagle or 2 Eagle in Machine. I think a lot of the best ones have been playing 2. Like, a lot of the decks that have been winning have been playing 2. I mean, this is our Machine deck that we've been running. But yeah, we're on 2 at the moment. Because again, you can keep shuffling it back in, and you can search it with Ultimate Bond, so like you don't need 3. We have so many ways to shuffle it back in. Between Bicorn or Terrero if you're on it, but you don't have to be on Terrero. But I think that is going to be the end of the stream. Oh, we are 15 minutes over. Usually we would have stopped at 3, but that's going to be us done for today. I don't think there's even anyone... We'll have a look, see if there's anyone to raid. Oh, Acceleration Gate's playing. We should totally raid Acceleration Gate. I mean, who doesn't love a little bit of Acceleration Gate, am I right? So, thank you all so much for watching. This was... it was a bit of a struggle one, but again, we weren't expecting the dinos to be particularly good anyway. Even if we optimize the deck, it's still going to be kind of bad. Realistically, there's not really much we can do about that, but it is what it is. We'll be back again on Tuesday to play. Also, don't forget there will be a Grand Prix, Rush to a Grand Prix today, so make sure everyone signs up to that. I want to see everyone signed up. I want to see you all signed up. Don't skip out on the tournament. Play the tournament, guys. We need more representation in these tournaments. So, with that, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Well, I don't think they're gonna... I don't know, it'd be pretty shocking if there's something else over here. Oh shit. Thank you for the raid, Tomatosaurus. Appreciate that. Tomatosaurus, excuse me. I was saying, yeah, the only cards I need from this box right now are Torn Scales and Trick Clown.